I want to talk to you a little bit about the high performance habits. Now, the high performance habits have been part of my life since about 2018. I make sure to practice them every day, and I make sure to give each one of these habits some of my attention to make sure that I'm actually practicing them or striving to practice them on a regular basis. For the rest of this episode, I want to talk to you about the high performance habit. All right, this was based on the book from Brendan Burchard, and the book is based off of his studies and his research from the High Performance Institute, working with scholars, working with researchers, working with colleges, both I think on two sides of the country, to find the right habits, the key movers, right, that we like to call them, the key movers. Right? If we can focus on the key movers, can we move the needle forward in our life? And we can. The first three are seeking clarity, the second is generating energy, and the third is raising necessity. And the last three are increase productivity, develop influence, and demonstrate courage. All right, those are the 6 high performance habits that we know move the needle on us towards success. That if we can apply these 6 habits in our life, we will move our lives forward. Now let's just talk about the first. We're gonna talk about all 6 of them, and we're gonna dive deeper into them in the coming episodes. So seeking clarity first starts with us seeking clarity and having clarity. Well, to have clarity, we have to seek it, right? We have to constantly, habitually seek clarity in our life in a few different areas. We have to seek clarity in ourself. Who are we, right? We have to seek clarity in our interactions. How do I want to interact with other people? And another area we want to have we want to seek clarity in is what makes us successful. Like what are our success markers? If we can have clarity in those areas, then we can live our lives with more intention. So, for example, real quick, let's say seek clarity on ourselves. How do you want to show up? Let's think, okay, we're ravers, right? And we're going to the next festival, and we're going to hang out with some of our friends and some of our, maybe our girlfriend or our boyfriend or our partner. And you want to have an amazing time at this festival, right? How about we seek clarity on who we should be in those moments, right? When I'm with my friends, when I'm with my partner, who do I want to be? What are 3 words that you would describe who you want to be? Whether it's friendly, connected, um, maybe you want to be positive, optimistic, maybe you want to be curious, you want to ask your friends a lot of questions and learn more about them, right? And when you know those 3 things, write them down. If you're watching this video right now, go ahead and pause this video. Write down the 3 words that you would use to describe how you want to show up at your next rave or your next music festival when you're with your friends or when you're with your partner. And now this next category we're going to talk about is our interactions. What are 3 words that you would use to describe how you want to interact with your friends at the festival, with your partner at the festival? When I went to EDC this last year and I was with Monica, I wanted to be present. I wanted to be like with her, right? When we were interacting, I wanted to be right there with her. I didn't want to be somewhere else or my mind thinking about this or my mind thinking about I wanted to be with her. So when those moments when the fireworks hit, that like I was there. Yes, of course, as a rave tour guide, I'm taking videos. I know, and that's what makes it a little bit more of a challenge for me to be present. And so I have to be clear that that's who I want to be and that's how I want to interact. What are the 3 words that you would use to describe how you want to interact with your friends at the rave or a festival? Write those 3 things down. And then the last 3 things might not be uh, rave related or festival related, but let's talk about clarity and our success markers, right? What are the 3 things that you would say you would use to describe what makes you successful, right? One of my top 3 success markers, well, as a leader, what makes me successful is I am approachable, right? So because I'm approachable, employees want to come to me and they're okay with sharing me some of their issues. They're okay with being transparent about their struggles. They're okay with coming up to me about some feedback. And they know I'm approachable. And I got to go into work with that in my mind. I have to be clear about that, and I have to have that intention. That before I go to work today, I'm going to be approachable, and here's how I'm going to do it. And by having clarity on those success markers, and for me, that success marker of being approachable, I now know how I need to show up when I go to work, because I've already done the work and the thought that says, excuse me, hey, like one of my top success markers is that I am approachable. And that's how I'm going to continue to be successful. I'm going to lean into that. You should now, by the end of this little segment here, have 9 words or phrases, right? 3 words to describe your best self, to describe you, 3 words to describe how you want to interact with others, and 3 words to describe what makes you successful. And I hope you find that useful. But that's a brief overview of what seeking clarity is all about and how we can habitually seek clarity. And then we have generating energy, it's the second habit. And that's all about harnessing the power from within to have the energy to do the things that we need to do. And in order to generate energy, we have to do things like exercise, eat good food, get good sleep, meditate, um, go outside, connect with family, right? All these things that charge us, that give us energy to help us generate it so we can then use it to do the things we need to do. The third high performance habit is raising necessity. And you can think of this as a parent with a child who is crying or who needs their diaper changed, right? There's a high necessity for that parent to complete that activity of taking care of the baby, changing the diaper, feeding the baby. There's a high necessity there. And then I want you to think of the necessity for when you start a new project. And it's a very small thing that you haven't, you got a small idea and you want to do it, but there's no necessity behind it just yet. So it doesn't get started. It gets pushed off. It gets pushed under the rug. Well, the habit of raising necessity comes through like the self-talk. It comes through identifying your commitments and your priorities, having a peer with you to hold you accountable to a deadline, right? It's about sharing your deadlines and putting it out there so that other people can hold you accountable, so you have some necessity, right? If you tell your partner or you tell your best friend, hey, I'm going to do this thing, I'm going to do this by this date, you now have to answer to that. And we'll dive into raising necessity more down the road. The last 3, and we'll finish up here in this discussion. And I'm just, again, so grateful you're here. You're here today. You're striving, you're learning, and you're growing, even just with watching this first video. And so this last 3 habits, and I'll try to breeze through them quicker, is increasing productivity. So, in high performance, we're always striving to have best practices in place so we can be more productive. One of those best practices includes having no more than 3 primary projects that you're working on. What are those 3 primary projects? Go to pause the video right now. And if you are clear about what you're doing and you're a high performer, this should take you like 90 seconds to write down what your 3 primary projects are. If you are struggling to find your 3 primary projects, it's an indicator, and that's okay, like that's just feedback. It's an indicator that you might not be clear about your primary goals, your primary things that you're working on. And that's okay. That's part of the awareness, right? Self-awareness is being able to be aware of saying, oh my goodness, I'm not even really sure what I'm working towards right now. And that's okay. That's what we're here for. That's why you're here. So thank you. And so what are those 3 primary projects? Write them down. Pause the video, come back. Second practice is to write down your 5 projects for each. If you're 5 moves for each one of those projects. So you have 3 primary projects. Write down 5 moves for each one of those projects that will move the needle forward in that project. And having that written down, having it somewhere posted that you can look at it, is going to ensure and increase the likelihood that you'll get that done. And now the next time that you're like, okay, what am I going to do today? What's on my to-do list? Let me go get that list that I made when we were watching the Rave Tour Guide's Rave Life Transformation series, where he told me to write down my 3 projects and my 5 moves. There it is. There's your to-do list. Pick a few things off that list, get it done that day, move the needle forward. That's productivity. The next high performance habit after that was developing influence. This is key to high performance, because if we as high performers, if you as a high performer are going to move forward in life and grow in life, you're going to have to be able to influence people to to take action on the things that you would like them to take action on. You want to influence them to follow you, right? In the same way, I'm trying to influence you to take some of this practical advice and implement it in your life, and just to start doing one more thing to move forward in a positive way. And that's influence, right? Can I get you to take the action I would like? Can I challenge you to do better and to do more? The sixth and last high performance habit is demonstrating courage. Are we taking bold action in our life? Are we identifying the bold action in our life and doing it? That's courage. Standing by our truth, standing by ourselves, standing up for ourselves, standing up for what we believe in. Courage is also speaking up for ourselves. Maybe there's a conversation you need to have that you haven't had yet, and we got to have it. The high performer or the high performance habit is writing down the difficult conversation or the hard thing I need to do. How am I going to go about doing it? Let me plan in advance what I'm going to say. Let me think it through. And then let me take the bold action and have the conversation. That's demonstrating courage. Those are the 6 high performance habits. I'm going to shorten this video. We're nearly at 30 minutes, and I just want to say thank you. Thank you for making it all the way to the end. And if you did, I'd love to hear what topics you would like to hear about in your journey. What topics will help you? What are you going on? What do you got going on in your life that you would like for us to talk about here on the Rave Life Transformation series? We got a lot to talk about, but on the way, I'm going to make sure to share more about my story, share more about my experience with high performance as a high performance coach working with different clients. I want to hear about how we can help you live your best rave life. Right? We're going to dive into some of the rave topics down the road, like authenticity and creative expression. But I just want to hear from you. So let me know down in the comments below. Don't forget to hit that like button, comment down below, and subscribe for more Rave Life Transformation content. And remember, I got more rave tours on the way. But in this off season of growth in between the EDCs, I want to make sure I'm still adding value to your life beyond the rave tours, because I do have something to share. And ultimately, the goal is to make an impact here on the rave community and you. So thank you again for being here. I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye for now.